Morning to you all. Now, for those who don't know what crowdfunding is, can you explain a little bit, first of all?
It's modern-day begging.
Without your view.
Yes, in my opinion. It is basically where people want to raise money for different reasons. It could be for business reasons or for, as the reasons that we're going to hear, somebody wanted to go on holiday. And you ask the public to give you money to do whatever you want to do.
And it could also be used as quite a powerful business tool as well, can't it? You know, for businesses to maybe have investors or in exchange for shares and whatnot.
Well, it can, because everybody thinks that they're an entrepreneur these days. So if you've got any kind of idea of what you want to do, go on there, people will give you money. But my point is that if you have a good enough idea, a bank's going to fund you or proper investors are going to fund you. Why are you actually begging for people?
Right then, so begging's been mentioned about 3 or 4 times. Welcome, guys. Lovely to see you. So, Aiden, why did you use crowdfunding and what for?
Well, I put a status on Facebook to say, why can people on benefits afford to go on holiday? And I couldn't afford a night out in my local town. And then people commented on it, they got their back up about it. And then someone commented again saying, why don't you make a crowdfunding page? So that's what I did, and I raised about £300.
So it started off being a bit of a joke, really.
Yeah.
It wasn't a serious thing. And then, so you stuck it on a crowdfunding site and you raised your £300. Did you go on holiday?
Yeah, I did. I went to Tenerife.
Did you have a nice time?
Yeah, great.
And those people, did anyone comment afterwards saying, you know, did you have a nice time, or were they interested in what they funded, or it was just you give the money and off you go have a nice time?
Not strangers, no. Friends and family did, but nobody who donated. I don't think they even knew, actually. Like, I don't have my Facebook profile.
The thing is, you say that this is, you know, can be compared to begging, or is begging, as you put it. But people are quite aware what they're donating for. You know, it's not, there's no trap.
I mean, Aiden, you did this as a bit of a laugh, didn't you? And you know what? That is quite funny. He did it in a really light-hearted way. But if somebody does it in a serious prospect, I think that's a bit of a different situation. Would you have gone outside and sat there with your little begging tin and said, please send me on holiday?
That's why I don't think it's begging.
No, it's not.
I'm not saying, give me the money.
All right, Maddy, then what about you?
Yeah, I mean,
How did you use it?
Yeah, so about 5 years ago, when I first went into comedy, I was offered a really prestigious venue at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and it was my first one-woman show that I'd written, and it costs about £8,000 to do a show up at the Fringe, and I knew that it would be a really good push for my career, a really good early push for my career. And I managed to raise £5,000 privately through a company. At the time, I was working about 5 or 6 jobs, and I needed to raise this £3,000. So with discussions with the company, we basically came to this agreement that I should crowdfund the money, and that's what I did. And we were talking earlier, and I was saying, like, it wasn't an easy decision. I mean, you were mentioning this guy with the crowdfunding Christmas money for Christmas presents. It's not an easy thing to do, you know. He must have felt, and I read some articles, he felt quite embarrassed, quite shameful about the whole thing. I mean,
Shouldn't he then be teaching his children the real meaning of Christmas and not this commercial nonsense that it's become?
But have a little heart. Have a little heart, darling.
I have the most amount of heart, because Christmas is about families.
I agree.
And that's the
Do you
problem.
give presents at Christmas?
Yes, a lot, yeah.
Do you? Go a lot of presents. No. You give a lot of presents at Christmas? Do you enjoy giving presents at Christmas?
I do, and I would
What would life be like in your family if you didn't give any presents at Christmas?
Well, here is the thing.
Do you earn quite a bit of money so you can pay for those presents at Christmas? What about that man that didn't earn that money, that can't sit on this sofa and can't do all of that? He's found a brilliant way. Everybody knew.
Is it brilliant, though?
Everyone knew what they were getting into. It's like a paying it forward.
It's a choice, and it's a choice. This is what I don't get.
Yes.
It's a choice.
You have to live within your means.
But no one
You're
is
not sat there with your
doorstepping
hand out
you.
saying, give me the money.
Well, exactly. You wouldn't do that. That's the point. So why do you get online and
Because
do
it's the 21st century. We're in 2018, and this is the new
And we're
phase.
full of
And social
millennials
media
who think they're
these days.
entitled to everything.
We just had this discussion. I
That
think
seems
we
to
are.
be your problem, doesn't it? So your problem is you think it's the sort of millennial generation that are using it because they think they're entitled.
We all think that we're entitled to everything. I would love to spend £5,000 on my girls at Christmas, but I'm not going to do that because it's not within my means. What I do want to do is teach my kids about Christmas, and I do massively rein in what I used to give them, because I thought, this is ridiculous. We've turned Christmas into such a commercial entity. It's about family. It's about being together. And yeah.
Wasn't that man just
Oh, here
a
we go.
lot?
He's got a quote. You've got a quote.
Jimmy, 92, put aside years of savings for a new roof. A man posing as a roofer ran off with £3,000. So far, he's raised 1,130 from strangers.
That's
and just
fundraising.
Giving. Yeah, but
That's
it's
not
still
crowdfunding.
It's still crowdfunding.
This is no, because it's a man in need. It's somebody who's in need. Crowdfunding is when, no offence to you, but you wanted to fulfil your lifelong ambition of doing comedy. So that is for you to do something. If you're talking about somebody that's been put in a very difficult situation and that person is in a dire state...
They're still raising money.
You're wrong. You're wrong. The definition of crowdfunding is raising money for the people, by the people.
Yes.
Aiden, your turn.
Well,
what would you like to jump in with?
Yeah, they're still raising money. It's the same thing. Just asking for money off the same people.
Can I ask you, Aiden, would you do that again? Are you doing it again? Would you use that tool to raise money to go on holiday again?
I'd do it again. It's still active now.
The Oculus virtual reality headset, crowdfunded company, was purchased by Facebook for $2 billion in 2014. Tile app. We've featured this on the show before. It's an app and a key ring to help you find your keys. Within 24 hours, they exceeded their target of 200,000. They've gone on to be worth over 2 million. Wireless headphones, crowdfunded, whopping 3.5 million during their campaign. This has actually kick-started big companies who are employing lots of people.
Yeah.
So crowdfunding
is... This is a bit of a different situation because now it's gone to an extreme as crowdfunding, and we've got people begging for all sorts. We've got people begging for surgery. You know, I'm not thrilled with the way that I look. I've put on a stone recently because of some medication I was taking. Is everybody going to crowdfund to give me liposuction? I have more dignity and respect than to actually...
But that's...
It's not just for surgery that's like cosmetic surgery. What about children, you know, that maybe need surgery or operations performed?
That's fundraising. That's fundraising.
No, it's not.
That's fundraising.
But they would use,
and that's a great cause. And yes, absolutely, people.
But they would use the crowdfunding element.
But that's fundraising. That's not crowdfunding. You're talking about two different things. When you're talking about people, they've got terminal illnesses and they want to get married because they're not going to, you know, they can't afford to do it at that point in time, or when they want to go and fulfil their life dreams and ambitions of going on holiday when they have terminal illnesses. I perfectly agree with that because I think that this is not just you on a whim saying, can't afford it, give me money, or I'm not going to work hard enough for it, etc.
But the people who did it... The thing is, when I look at crowdfunding sites, if you just say, give me money, it's not going to happen. You have to be quite clever. You've got to be quite humorous. There's got to be a good reason, or actually, I quite like this guy. I quite like this guy. I love what she's going to do. I love what she's going to do with the money. And so, therefore, it is open. It is very honest. You know what you're getting into, and you think, there's a bit of a laugh. I'll give him a couple of quid. That's a laugh.
Why would you not do it on the street, though?
Because if you're doing it on the street, people may feel uncomfortable if you stand there and you put your hands out. And you're not allowed to anyway because you have to be registered to be able to stand on the street, so you're not allowed to do that. But then you are essentially forcing them to do it because they're walking past and they feel guilty if they don't. If you're doing it on a crowdfunding site, you either look at the crowdfunding site or you don't. You either click past or you go somewhere else. You have the option.
And there's a whole other side now to crowdfunding, which is incredible, which is where there's companies out there that are crowdfunding for individual homeless people to give them training to get back into work. There's a whole new side of crowdfunding that's happening.
We have to leave it there, unfortunately. I mean, we could have kept this going on forever.
Really
but that's a very lively debate. Thank you both very much indeed.
Thanks.
Good luck with your crowdfunding. I hope you have a lovely holiday.
Off to Tenerife again.
I reckon after this, you're sorted.